It's Friday, October 10th.
We're at a momentous development.
Israel's military says a ceasefire is now in effect after its government approved a deal to stop fighting in Gaza and bring its hostages home. Letters should start trickling into your mailbox soon across the country as nationwide walkouts by Canada Post workers shift to rotating strikes.
Thankfully, I scored one ticket for Game 7, like right up high.
Frustration for Blue Jays fans trying to get their hands on some playoff tickets. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummeld.
And I'm Kayleen Swatsky. Happy Friday.
Have you any fruit thrown at you at the grocery store over the S word you were saying the other day?
No one so far. Everyone's been very kind. Thank you.
My goodness, my goodness. We'll get to your full forecast in just a minute. We've got a lot to get to this morning, so let's start right away. Israel's military says a ceasefire in Gaza is now in effect.
We fought during these 2 years to achieve our war aims, and the central one of these war aims is to return the hostages.
Explosions were seen overnight in Gaza up until 5 a.m. Eastern, 3 o'clock our time, which was the moment the IDF said the ceasefire took hold. This came after Israel's military or government formally approved the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. Hamas now has 72 hours to release all hostages. In exchange, Israel release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Aid will also flow freely into Gaza. The U.S. president says he will head to the Middle East on Sunday.
I made 7 deals, and now it's solved the wars.
The U.S. will send 200 troops to the region to help monitor the progress in the region. As we first mentioned here, this is the first phase of a U.S. proposed 20-point peace plan. Other points like disarming Hamas and Palestinian statehood will need to be addressed down the line.
The next 48 hours are crucial. We urge the parties, particularly Hamas, to follow through, release all the hostages.
As for what role Canada will play, Prime Minister Mark Carney said our country will support aid efforts. Global Affairs says it's too early to tell if Canadians will be part of the mission to secure that ceasefire deal. The federal government has announced a new industrial strategy that addresses tariffs with the goal of saving jobs and creating new ones.
We will use the power of procurement to create jobs, because ultimately what I've learned is companies rather have contracts than subsidies from the government. Thinking about the gold idea.
The strategy is aimed at attracting both investments and talent to Canada. Industry Minister Melanie Joly framed the strategy as a way to solidify Canadian sovereignty at a time of global instability and shifting dynamics around trade, defense, and security. She says Ottawa will leverage the new Buy Canadian policy to source domestic goods, the lumber and steel for future home building and defense contracts. A nationwide walkout by Canada Post workers will soon be replaced by rotating strikes. The union representing striking postal workers made the announcement yesterday saying rotating strikes will start tomorrow. The national president of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, Jan Simpson, says the move will allow Canadians to get their mail while they continue to work toward collective agreements. This comes after Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu said the union and Crown Corporation have a responsibility to find a solution. Regina police have opened a death investigation. This happened on the 1500 block of Cameron Street about 6 o'clock last night. Officers found a man dead in the area. Major crimes and forensics were called in. The investigation is in its early stages. Few details are being released, including the victim's name. If you saw anything, call police or Crime Stoppers. 5 years after she was reported missing, we're starting to hear how Megan Gallagher may have been killed. Jeremy Dodge tracking that story for us. Jeremy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Daryl. Good morning. A warning, some viewers may find the details in this story disturbing. Here now is CTV's Laura Woodward.
Roderick Sutherland enters Saskatoon's Court of King's Bench on day 4 of his manslaughter trial as Robert Thomas takes the stand. Thomas was in the garage with Sutherland, the same garage where 30-year-old Megan Gallagher was killed. Court heard Gallagher died on September 20th, 2020, while restrained to a chair. Thomas told court that about a month before, he was held hostage and stabbed multiple times. He testified he feared it would happen again and suspected Gallagher was in the garage to set him up. Thomas testified there was a group of people in the garage, including Summer Sky Henry. He testified that he asked Henry to wrap Gallagher's body in plastic wrap, but she didn't wrap her body. She ended up wrapping her whole face, Thomas testified. He said when he approached Gallagher, she was dead. Quiet sobbing could be heard from the gallery as Thomas described Gallagher's final moments. Court heard her body was moved from the garage into a truck and later thrown into the South Saskatchewan River. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A Saskatoon priest convicted of sexual assault has learned his fate. 72-year-old Janko Kolesnai was sentenced to 8 months in jail. The judge said the high level of trust as a spiritual figure and the vulnerability of victim went into her decision after Kolesnai kissed the girl on her lips in a supply room at the Ukrainian Catholic Cathedral of St. George in 2023. The girl was a recently landed refugee from Ukraine who would clean the church weekly with her mother when the assault happened. Kolesnai will also serve 18 months probation following his jail time, and he will not return to work or get any more financial support from the church, including his pension. All right, Daryl, Moose Jaw residents raising concerns about homelessness in that city.
That's right, speaking out against a plan to move their emergency shelter. Wayne Mantika has more.
Those living at the Moose Jaw shelter were surprised to hear that the government wants them out of the downtown.
We're not causing no problems for anybody, really. We're just trying to get through the day. And they categorize us or label us as troublemakers for what? I'm not sure.
Moose Jaw's current shelter is located in a back lane between the police station and the courthouse. The Premier wants people to feel safe downtown.
Although the supports need to be there for those, unfortunately, that have entered a life without a home, the supports actually have to be there as well to keep our broader community safe as well, so a family can go to a park or for a walk downtown with their children after supper.
The unhoused feel singled out.
There's one leg now that's been amputated. Okay, if they're gonna move the shelter somewhere else, hey, the scooters, hey, heavy enough, hey. Like what am I supposed to do? One leg.
This man has secured housing through Square One, but spent last winter outdoors.
Square One was a blessing. I mean, yeah, all I had to do was fill out all the proper paperwork. And, of course, you have to change your life.
The NDP is puzzled by the government move.
Well, folks, yesterday's news conference in Moose Jaw was one of the most pathetic and embarrassing things I've seen in a while.
Moose Jaw's emergency shelter has 15 beds and is operated by the John Howard Society.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So our preference would be to stay where it is because I think the space lends itself very well to serving our clients.
The John Howard Society will continue discussions with government about a new permanent location. It believes the best place to relocate shelter residents would be into housing. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
Tickets for the next round of Jays playoff games range from high to sky high. That's for people who can even get one.
I was lucky enough to get in the queue and actually, buy it. The general admission price, I only paid $200 for the 500 level.
Many fans logging in to buy tickets were put in the queues, which grew to about 100,000 people at one point. It didn't take long for tickets to sell out, then start showing up on the resale market, which is the bane of my existence. Hate it. Seats in the upper levels are going for about $500. Field level going for about $1,000. Still a chance, though. Fans may still get their hands on some last-minute tickets through the Jays District Drop program. Yikes. Saskatchewan Rough Riders game of musical chairs in the backfield continues this week. Team will be without last year's most outstanding defensive player, Roland Milligan Jr. The good news for Rider fans is that the injury does not look like it's going to be long-term. He was replaced on Friday night by Sheldrick Redwine, who went to the University of Miami before spending 2019 through 24 with a handful of NFL clubs.
Will is a hell of a player, as you've seen. You know, just the approach that he takes to the game. He's always the first person in film. You know, staying late. You know, so just having that and just be able to, you know, have to slide in and be able to, you know, not necessarily replace, but, you know, just make sure that there's no drop off. You know, just show that I'm capable. I trust my skills.
I'm sure he could play in the NHL too. The rest of the starting defensive backfield will look the same this week. The game time is tonight at about 7 o'clock. Let's get over to the Weather Center and see what the game day forecast is going to look like as we join Kayleen Sawatsky. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, great news for you for your game day forecast. We're seeing some awesome temperatures today. Regina and Saskatoon expecting to reach 20 degrees. This morning view, though, looking pretty dark to start the day. This is brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. Now, we are in the negatives right now, but don't panic. Again, a beautiful sunny day on tap. -2 right now. Southeast winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour. Clear conditions more so down towards the south. Just a few clouds in Saskatoon to start the day. -1 right now. Should be starting to warm up here very soon. The sun should be up by about 7:13 a.m. in Regina and 7:23 a.m. in Saskatoon. Now, today's wind gusts looking like they're going to be getting stronger down towards the south central zone there. Regina could be seeing them up to about 35 kilometers per hour in the afternoon. However, we're talking about it being game day in Ryderville, and the winds could be going up into the evening up to about 50 kilometers per hour. So not super strong, but stronger than what we are going to be seeing in the afternoon. So just enough to blow that cap away if you're going to be wearing one. Future cast now showing not a whole lot down in the central and southern zones, just a little bit more cloud cover way up north. But as we look forward to tomorrow, that's when we see more of these clouds moving in. We're also going to be seeing some of that precipitation moving in, starting way up north, and you see that purple on your screen. That does indicate snow, and you think, hey, no worries, at least it's not down in the central and south. Well, we are going to be getting some of that snow moving in. It's just going to be later into the evening hours on Saturday and into those overnight hours early on Sunday. You can see Saskatoon expecting some very light flurries, but they could just be in the very early morning hours, and then a lot of cloud cover moving in for the rest of your day on Sunday. Take a look at that large system down in the southeast, impacting areas essentially just south of the Parkland region there. So a lot of areas down in the southeast going to be getting some rain on Sunday, and then some of those flurries as well making their way through the south. Current temperatures showing Prince Albert at -4, Melfort at 0 degrees, 2 degrees in Assiniboia, and 0 degrees in Weyburn. Temperatures later this afternoon looking really nice, though. Really try to enjoy these next few days where we're still seeing temperatures into those 20 degrees, because it's on Sunday that we see those temperatures really drop down to 3 degrees in Regina, with that mixed precipitation impacting us more so in the late afternoon hours. But in Saskatoon, while we're still seeing that temperature drop on Sunday, we are only seeing that mixed precipitation early in the morning, and then just showing some cloud cover on the way for Sunday afternoon.
A new study seems to confirm the long-held belief that a mom's body needs a little extra time to kick into labor when she has her first baby. After analyzing electronic records for more than 2 million pregnancies, scientists from Epic Researchers found that first-time deliveries are more than 1.5 times more likely to happen after 41 weeks compared to moms who've given birth before. And on average, first pregnancies last 275.9 days. That's almost a full day and a half longer than later births, which averaged 274.5 days. If you're preparing to have your first child, you might want to add a bit of wiggle room to your expectations on a delivery date. Just know that being a little late may be right on time for your firstborn. With this Medical Minute, I'm Jacqueline Lee.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
All right, it's Friday, what we call here Good Time Friday. So who wants to see an adorable newborn?
I do.
It's not exactly a human newborn. It's an adorable newborn hippo calf. This is at the Berlin Zoo. The little guy was born at the end of September. He's a little underweight, around 28 kilograms. He should be about 40 kilograms already, so zoo staff say it's important for him to eat. That being said, what he's lacking in weight, he's making up for in cuteness, I think.
He needs a name, Kayleen. What do we name this baby hippo?
You know what? Oh, this one's hard. What do we do?
I don't know.
You name it, Daryl, please.
He's a featherweight. Jeremy, let's leave it up to you. What do you think we call this Berlin hippo?
How about Funyun?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Is that what you tried to name your baby?
Yeah. Right before I had a baby, we asked, what should I name my baby? Jeremy said Funyun.
We had no idea he was such an expert.
Yeah.
Question of the day. It's Thanksgiving weekend, so the question's fairly obvious.
Yeah, we're asking you, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving weekend? Jeremy, are you thankful for Funyuns?
I'm not so much. No, I am so thankful for just everything, for family, for my health, for this job, for my coworkers. #blessed, as the great philosopher Bruno Mars once sang. Yeah, very thankful, and I'm giving thanks this weekend.
Great. Now we got to be like the guy that's next to the guy with the great Christmas display that just puts the lights in the arrow that says ditto.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly the same.
That's it. Yeah. We want to know what you're thankful for at home. All you got to do is pick up your smartphone. Maybe it's already in your hand. Text 10400, your name and your answer. We'll share those answers throughout the show, or you scan that QR code on your screen. We'll take a nice look over the city of Regina. Snow is on the way. Kayleen will tell you how much and when we come back.
Prime Minister Mark Carney pushing back against President Trump's protectionism in the auto industry. He told a group of business executives that North America's interwoven supply chain makes U.S. manufacturers more competitive on costs. Ontario's auto industry has been one of the hardest hit by tariffs imposed by Trump. The coalition that has ruled Japan for much of the millennium collapsed following a breakdown in negotiations over a political donation scandal. The Junior Party, Komeito, says the situation with the Liberal Democratic Party is far from recovery. The split comes 2 years after the LDP was accused of hiding about $6 million in slush funds. The yen is trading down, and while markets were already closed, the reaction is expected on Monday. Iconic blue jeans brand Levi Strauss down in Friday's pre-market with warnings tariffs are starting to bite. CFO Harmeet Singh says they have started to feel the impact of tariffs, not just in China, but elsewhere. The company did report that their profitability, as measured by gross margin, improved in the third quarter. However, it's trading down today. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Today is World Mental Health Day, and our Mike Siona is learning more about it at the Canadian Mental Health Association chapter in Saskatoon. Mike, good morning.
Good morning indeed, and you're right, it is World Mental Health Day, and so we're down here chatting with Jenna Neufeld and Tony Clausen at the CMHA in Saskatoon. And Tony, we'll begin with you, the Executive Director here, but let's talk globally about the theme of this year's World Mental Health Day.
Yeah, so this year the theme of World Mental Health Day is really focused on natural disasters, and obviously here in our province we've experienced a lot of that this spring and summer with the wildfires in the north. Our country has experienced a lot. But worldwide, you know, there's natural disasters every day. It seems like every time you log onto social media or watch the news or turn on the radio, they're talking about something that's going on somewhere in the world. And we here at CMHA Saskatoon really think that it's important that we're being proactive when we're thinking about natural disasters. You know, we're all going to experience that at some point in our lives, and to build those skills in advance, right? So when that time inevitably does come, you have some skills, you have some tools in your toolbox to manage and cope with the mental stress of that situation.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, Jenna, we'll quickly, I guess, talk to you about just the everyday things that she's kind of referencing. What are some of those tools that we can put in our toolbox? We know the Saskatchewan example, but this is really a global thing.
Absolutely. I think we tend to really focus on a lot of self-care tools and strategies, and sometimes that is really, really good, but sometimes it really just means going back to those really basic things and making sure that you are taking care of yourself on a basic level. So whether that means making sure that you are connected to your supports, knowing what your supports and resources actually are, reaching out to the people that are really good for you, making sure that you are also reaching out to the other people in your life as well. We do often talk about mental health just in terms of highlighting mental illness, but it's also about positive mental health and fostering positive well-being when we can as well.
No doubt about it. I don't know how we got all that done in 2 minutes. Just the tip of the iceberg, and there are so many layers that we'll continue to talk about this morning.
All right, yeah, Mike, truly an important day. Thank you so much. We'll see you in just a little while.
All right, it's time for a look at our school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading outside to catch the bus in Regina, we're sitting at -2, -1 in Saskatoon, so both cities a little bit chilly this morning. The sun isn't quite fully up. We'll be seeing that sunrise in the next hour or so here. 15 degrees by lunch, though, with that sunshine. 15 degrees also in Saskatoon by lunch. Some winds just a little bit stronger down towards the south this afternoon. 20 degrees for both cities by final bell. Those winds up to about 35 kilometers per hour in Regina at that time, and up to about 35 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon as well. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The most common cost to fill up is $130.9. The lowest you might find is $121.9. In Saskatoon, the common price to fill up $128.9 this morning, and the lowest you might find $121.9. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola at $555.32 per ton, and the futures price at $618 per ton. Amber durum wheat sitting at $282.27 per ton this morning, and red spring wheat at $241.09 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading down this morning at 71.43 cents U.S. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. We'll be right back.
6:30. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. Here's what's making news. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations says it has received a list of items from its forensic audit. The FSIN says it will now begin a thorough internal review, saying it maintains its full confidence that all expenditures were made appropriately, transparently, and in accordance with financial policies. More than $34 million of FSIN spending was flagged in an audit from Indigenous Services Canada last month. The FSIN says it continues to await the final report, but Indigenous Services says it does not provide copies of the audit report to funding recipients. Despite a fire destroying 1,500 prepackaged Thanksgiving meals ahead of the holiday, the Prince Albert Grand Council's hamper pickup is proceeding as usual.
Grand Council is part of the community, and they're trying to give back to the community, and it's for everybody. Anybody that needs a little bit of help, low income, sometimes you just need a little bit of help to get by.
The incident happened last Friday night, and with less than a week to gather food for 3,600 people, staff have been busy making sure every family gets a chance to have a traditional Thanksgiving meal. It's all part of several businesses and donors who have helped in replacing these hampers. The province's police watchdog has released a report detailing an officer-involved shooting in Estevan nearly 2 years ago. Serious Incident Response Team says on November 1st, 2023, a 19-year-old man was under arrest when an altercation took place inside the Estevan police headquarters. The man lunged at a police officer, gaining possession of his gun. One shot was fired, hitting the now unarmed officer in the abdomen. The second officer drew his weapon, firing 2 shots, hitting the suspect. The injured officer and suspect were given immediate first aid and taken to hospital. The suspect was declared dead the same day. The evidence gathered depicted a reasonable fear of death or serious bodily harm, giving CERT no grounds to believe an offense was committed by the officer who fired the fatal shots. Large parts of Kyiv are dealing with power outages this morning after Russian drone strikes hit Ukraine's energy infrastructure. 9 people were injured from the strikes. Russia has stepped up its attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure in recent weeks. President Vladimir Zelensky says more than 450 drones and more than 30 missiles have targeted energy facilities and is calling those attacks from Russia cynical and calculated. Now, meanwhile, a 7-year-old child was killed in Russian strikes in Ukraine's southeast. Some people in Nova Scotia who have been out of their homes for more than a week because of that Lake George wildfire, pretty glad to be back this morning.
It's an amazing job because I did not expect to be back anytime soon.
The evacuation zone isn't open to the public yet. Only people who live in the area being allowed back in. People from 353 properties were ordered out September 29th as the fire burned out of control. It is now not contained, but it has stopped growing. Officials say the risk to houses and businesses is now considered low. The Quebec government has tabled a new draft constitution.
That's a tool inside the Canadian Federation to be sure to protect the autonomy of Quebec.
Premier François Legault says the Constitution bill would protect Quebecers' distinct identity and culture. It's intended to defend what Legault's government deems to be the common values of Quebec, including secularism, equality, the right to abortion, and French as an official language. It also states Quebec has no attachment to the monarchy and that the province's lieutenant governor should be called the officer of Quebec. Experts say any province can propose a constitution, but opposition parties say there have been very little public consultation happening. Harvest almost complete in Saskatchewan. 93% of the crop is in the bin province-wide, slightly behind the 5-year average of 98%, but ahead of the 10-year average. Crop quality analysis has also been released, including the Canada Western Scale, which measures crop quality from 1 being the best to 4 at the worst. 65% of hard red spring continues to remain number 1 in the category, 27% in second and third, 6% in the third.
Those numbers are better than the 5- and 10-year averages for hard red spring wheat grades. So it's good to see that producers are getting better quality hard red spring wheat for this time of year. But yeah, there is variability throughout the province when it comes to quality. Like the Southwest has the lowest quality spring wheat, and then the central regions and Southeast has generally the best quality wheat this year.
Fast and physical and a little reckless. You know, we're just thinking too much. So ultimately, we got to coach a little bit harder. They got to play a little harder, a little better. And then if we do all that, then you know what? We'll be hitting our stride when the playoffs start to take place.
Final week of the Prairie Football Conference regular season. The Saskatoon Hilltops and Regina Thunder each have already guaranteed playoff spots, home playoff date, but the seeding is yet to be decided. Saskatoon plays Calgary, Regina plays Edmonton. Both teams play Sunday afternoon. So what we need to know is if that snow is going to be falling Sunday afternoon, Kayleen.
As of right now on the radar, yes, we're seeing some mixed precipitation for Regina, and Saskatoon going to be seeing it a little bit earlier on in the morning and then just making way for some clouds in the afternoon. But the moral of the story is that yes, we do have some of that mixed precipitation in the forecast. Let's take a look now at this morning view. -2 to wake us up in Regina. The sun not fully up yet, but when it does come up, we are expecting it to be a very clear morning. And -1 in Saskatoon, some southeast winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour, just a few clouds to wake us up in Saskatoon this morning. Here's a look at that futurecast. So today, not seeing a lot, only just a little bit of cloud cover. As we look forward towards Saturday and Sunday, though, we are going to be seeing some more cloud cover moving in. Sunday's going to be very cloudy across the province. So enjoy these sunny and warm temperatures while we still can. Saturday, about 4:30 p.m., we do see some of that snow and rain way up north, a few patches of the rain throughout the central zone there. However, it's really during those overnight hours and into Sunday morning that we start to see more of that precipitation make its way in. So it's more so rain down towards the southeast. And then as you can see, right along the western border there, we do have some of that snow making its way in from Alberta. Going to be hovering right around Assiniboia around 7:45 a.m. on Sunday. And then into the afternoon, it could be passing right over top of Regina and then over into the Parkland region there. Now, current temperatures showing -4 in Prince Albert, 0 degrees in Melfort, 0 degrees in Hudson Bay as well, and just below that, -1 in Spiritwood. 4 degrees waking us up in Swift Current, 6 degrees in East End, and -1 in Estevan this hour. Later on this afternoon, though, absolutely beautiful. We see those averages for this time of the year continuing to go down. So for Regina and Saskatoon, that's about 12 degrees this time of year, but we are seeing those highs of 20 degrees in both cities today. So that's really nice to see with that sunshine. Looking forward towards the weekend here, 23 degrees tomorrow in Regina. So getting warmer and then dramatically falling on Sunday down to about 3 degrees. And then we do see that mixed precipitation in the afternoon. In Saskatoon, 22 degrees tomorrow, dropping down to 4 degrees on Sunday. Again, we could be seeing mixed precipitation in the morning, just very cloudy conditions in the afternoon. Now, Thanksgiving Monday, it'll be about 4 degrees in Regina, sun and clouds, and winds up to about 20 kilometers per hour. And in Saskatoon, your Thanksgiving Monday, looking like we'll be seeing that high of 5 degrees, sun and clouds, and winds up to 20 kilometers per hour. Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is savings. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter that code word along with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for this one, we're taking a trip to L.A. It is the Phillies and Dodgers. Game 4. We're going bottom 11, tied at 1. Bases loaded when Andy Pajas sends one right to the pitcher. And that is bobbled by Ryan Kirkering. Throws it home off target. So the Dodgers walk off their way to the NLCS on a blunder. The catcher, JT Realmuto, he's telling Kirkering, go to first, likely would have gotten the out. Instead, he goes home. And that's all she wrote for the Phillies. My goodness, what a way to end your season. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got some CFL action for you. It is the Argos taking on the Riders. Coverage of that game begins at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a fantastic weekend.
Well, Miss Rodeo Canada is from Edam, Saskatchewan, in studio with us this morning. Abby Hardy, congratulations.
Thank you.
Last time you were here, you were Miss Rodeo Agribition. Now you've upgraded. Tell us about the honor.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Honestly, I was crowned last Friday, so it's been a week now, which seems absolutely crazy. And it was so special to be able to take Miss Rodeo Agribition and the program to CFR and to the Miss Rodeo Canada competition and then come out with the win.
So what does Miss Rodeo Canada do now?
Miss Rodeo Canada represents all of Canadian professional rodeos. So we travel all over the world. We go into the States, we travel to Australia, and I'm just the first lady of Canadian professional rodeo for 365 days.
Does that come with some pressure? Do you feel some sort of...
I'm just so excited because, you know, rodeo has been a passion of mine for so long, and it's just absolutely incredible to be able to be given this honor and to be able to represent the one thing that I'm super passionate about.
What kind of message do you want to take to some of these places that you're about to visit?
I just want to be able to be that inspiration for our youth and our younger generation, and I just want them to feel that, you know, they have role models, positive role models in their lives, and I just want to be, you know, what these little girls look up to one day and strive to be like.
Maybe there's somebody sitting in a small town, maybe it's Edam, maybe it's Elbow, Success, Saskatchewan, that's thinking, maybe I can actually do this now because you're in this chair.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what I want to be able to be for these young girls. And you know, the Miss Rodeo Agribition applications are still open until Wednesday, and I really just want to tell our younger generation and the females in Saskatchewan that if you have a dream, and even if you're a little bit, you know, nervous and you just aren't sure, just apply, because you really honestly never know what this is going to do for your life and where it's going to take you, because 365 days ago, I can guarantee you I would not have thought that I'd be sitting in this chair right here with the Miss Rodeo Canada crown on my head.
Rodeo is a lifestyle. What has it given you?
It's just given me so many open doors. You know, it's given me so many possibilities, and it's just given me a passion that I can lean into, and it's given me a family. The rodeo family that I have is absolutely incredible, and the people that I've met and the connections I've made have they're out of this world.
How often do you get to ride now?
I ride as much as I can. Actually, I was riding yesterday before I came, so I try to get on my horses as much as possible. I've got 2 right now sitting in my field, so I try to get on as much as possible.
Tell us about the crown, because a lot of people don't see this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Miss Rodeo Canada crown, this is the Lady in Waiting crown, because Cody Wilson is still our 2025 Miss Rodeo Canada.
And when do you officially go in?
I officially begin my reign January 1st.
Right, okay.
So she retires, and then I'll get the new crown, which is the crown that she wears. And so yeah, this is our Lady in Waiting crown, and it's been on a lot of cool heads. It passes down year to year, and it's seen some cool places, and I'm excited to take it on the journey and actually bring it to Agribition, because the Lady in Waiting crown has never been at Agribition, so I'm really excited to do that.
In a couple months, you have to come back and tell us about some of your travels.
Yeah,
Abby, congratulations.
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's check in with Janelle Lapie now and see what she is getting up to this morning. Janelle, good morning.
A local nonprofit organization is working hard to support individuals with intellectual disabilities. Paige Fink, Executive Director with Gravelbourg Bonamy, is joining us this morning to share a few recent upgrades to extend some of this outreach. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's start off with a little bit of an overview of the organization itself.
Yeah, so Gravelbourg Bonamy is a local nonprofit located in Gravelbourg, Saskatchewan. We work with people who experience intellectual disabilities, and we operate a day program, a group home, a supported independent living program, and we also operate a Sartan depot here in Gravelbourg.
Amazing and really important. And some recent upgrades have been coming your way in the organization. What have those been?
Absolutely. So recently, in December 2024, we started fundraising for a van for our team. We noticed the need when we realized that our staff were using their own vehicles to transport our clients to out-of-town facilities like Moose Jaw, Regina, into the bigger centers, and they were all using their own personal vehicles. So the need for an agency van came into play, and so we started fundraising in December of 2024. And we have officially purchased that van for our participants.
Well, congratulations. And there is a big event coming up, too, to sort of unveil this to the community. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So tomorrow, October 10th at 1:30, we are going to be unveiling our brand new van at 1:30. And then we're also doing a raffle draw at 2 o'clock for a brand new John Deere S110 lawn tractor. And so that all of the tickets sold out very fast. So we'll be drawing for a winner for that as well tomorrow.
Fantastic, Paige. Well, thank you so much for this. You and I are going to be back shortly. We've got a little bit more excitement to talk about, so we'll be back soon.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you in just a little while.
It's October 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Evan. He's celebrating his 40th birthday. Have a great day. This shout out coming from Mac and Gary. And looking forward to the weekend, happy 50th birthday going out to Lyle Spencer. All of your friends and family are sending you a whole lot of love. Enjoy your day. Also celebrating tomorrow is Ronan, turning 11 years old on the 11th day of the month. Have a fantastic day. Love from your grandpa Gerard and your Grammy Janet. Tomorrow will be Lawrence's 90th birthday. Happy birthday to you. This was sent in with a whole lot of love from your wife of 62 years and all of your children, grandchildren, and friends. Happy anniversary to Alan and Darlene, celebrating 45 years of marriage tomorrow. Congratulations and lots of love from your family, friends, children, and grandchildren. And John and Eva have a whole lot to celebrate on Sunday. October 12th will not only be John's 92nd birthday, but the couple will also be celebrating 70 years of marriage. Congratulations, you two. Happy birthday to John and have a great weekend. Also on Sunday, we'll be wishing a big happy birthday to Hudson, turning 8 years old. Have a great day from Mom, Dad, and Hunter. And on Thanksgiving Monday, Shirley will be celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, have a great day, and have a great year ahead from all of your dashing sisters. October 13th is also the birthday of this Rider fan. Happy birthday to Andrew. Have a great day with lots of love from all of your girls and Nolan. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now, but make sure you send those in one day in advance.
casual. It's Casual Fridays around here, where we're at Sandals South Coast, and if you look behind us, this is the biggest pickleball course in the Caribbean. They got 12 different pickleball courts, so if you want in, they're going all day. It doesn't matter how sweaty you get, it's how much fun you have. So if you want to come, we got the Beer Country passports every couple of hours throughout the show. Get them, plug them in, and you can win. We're going to announce our last weekly winner coming up a little after 8 o'clock. So if you've been posting and plugging and going to our website, you can win. Join us here at Sandals.
Anything you can dream about, you can create.
If you've dreamed of another Minecraft movie, you're in luck. Warner Brothers has announced it's building a sequel to this year's smash hit, A Minecraft Movie. Jared Hess is back to direct the follow-up. No word on the cast, and the studio says plot details remain deep in the mine for now. It's due out in IMAX theaters July 23rd, 2027. Elton John's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy is getting a 50th anniversary reissue. The special edition of the chart-topping album is due out October 24th on LP, CD, and digital.
You are in all the music I've ever heard.
Friends aren't supposed to say I love you to each other.
No one knows us like we do. No one gets this.
Dear Luke, Love Me features themes not often seen in big screen love stories, including queer platonic love, emotional intimacy beyond romance, asexuality, and identity exploration. It's the directorial debut of Guillermo Diaz from TV's Scandal. Dear Luke, Love Me debuts on Apple TV Plus Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Dear Luke, you'd think...
On vacation, most people want to swim with the fishes, but how about sleeping with them?
This is the world's most expensive underwater hotel room. And to get there, you need to go down your own private elevator. Right when you step out, you're greeted by your new neighbors, the fish. And then this hallway...
Okay, so I don't know who wrote that for us, but sleeping with the fishes is a mob reference for death. I don't think anybody wants to be sleeping with the fishes.
Well,
I mean, it means a couple things. Clearly, that's what happens in this property as well.
Yeah.
Listen, folks, I read what's in the prompter.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We didn't write this.
Yeah. But this is kind of like you're living in a reverse aquarium. From the bedroom with snorkelers above to the bathroom, your glass getaway is fit for a king.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's probably expensive.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Would you want to sleep in it, though? Because I think I'd be a little freaked out that the glass would break.
It sets you back $16,000 a night.
What?
I don't have Jeremy Dodge money. I can't do that. That's
Jeremy Dodge doesn't have that kind of scratch.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
okay, we have time for this, Corey?
No.
All right, now to a duet that's so bad, they're kind of good.
Just a small town girl.
These two are trying not to laugh through their attempt at harmonizing in the most horrible way. Didn't you guys form a impromptu choir yesterday?
Yes, thank you. So there's this trend going around where people are seeing if they can sing, if they have any hidden talents so that they can quit their jobs and not come to work the next day.
Oh.
So some of us here on Your Morning Saskatchewan decided to try that yesterday. It did not go well.
Please put that video into our system so we can share it with
why have we seen this yet?
Okay, I will put it in the system next hour. We'll take a look.
We're going to take a quick time out. We got your weather forecast, which includes some snow coming out. Just look out for the highway. We're back in just a couple of minutes. It's Friday, October 10th.
We're at a momentous development.
Israel's military says a ceasefire in Gaza is now being carried out after its government approved a deal to stop the fighting, and it's bringing its hostages home. Cameron Street last night. We'll tell you what we know so far.
It's good to see that producers are getting better quality hard red spring wheat for this time of year.
Harvest almost complete with 93% of the crop in the bin. And let's talk more about that in just a minute. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummel.
And I'm Kayleen Swatsky. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday indeed. And congratulations to all the inductees in the Regina Sports Hall of Fame. The induction ceremony was last night. Had a chance to be the master of ceremonies for that. So we want to say congratulations to former Rough Riders Steve Mazurk. Got some video if Director Corey ever wants to roll it. Rob Bresciani was in there as well, the Regina Thunder National Championship team from 2013. Mervyn Tran, Pats legend Dale Durkach was there. All spoke very eloquently, very beautifully last night. A huge honor for all of them.
Congratulations to everybody.
Our very own athlete of the week is Kayleen Sawatsky, but we might have to revoke the title, even though you're wearing the jersey.
Yeah, I'm in Rider Green.
Because you're bringing snow this weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I'm not bringing it for Rider Game Day today. 20 degrees and sunny. So can I get back in the club now?
Well, it's up to you. You text us at 10400. Tell us if she gets a reprieve. Let's get to your news for this part of the hour. The Israeli military says the ceasefire with Hamas is now in effect, and its troops are withdrawing to the agreed-upon deployment lines. The announcement coming hours after Israel's cabinet approved the first phase of Donald Trump's plan to end the 2-year war in Gaza.
We fought during these 2 years to achieve our war aims, and the central one of these war aims is to return the hostages, all of the hostages, the living and the dead.
Palestinians reported heavy shelling in parts of Gaza this morning before the ceasefire kicked in at noon local time. Under the terms of the deal, Israel has 24 hours to fully pull back its troops. Once that's done, Hamas has 72 hours to release all hostages. In exchange, now Israel will release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. The U.S. president says he will head to the Middle East on Sunday.
We reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done.
The U.S. will send 200 troops to the region to support the stabilization in Gaza and the flow of humanitarian aid. The ceasefire is part of the first phase of a 20-point peace plan. Other points like disarming Hamas and Palestinian statehood will be addressed down the line. As for Canada's involvement, Global Affairs says it's too soon to tell whether Canadians will be part of an armed mission to secure a ceasefire or truce in the Gaza Strip. Statistics Canada has released the employment numbers for the month of September, increasing unexpectedly for the first time since June. The agency says employment increased by 60,000 or 0.3%, bringing the employment rate up by 0.1 percentage point. The industries pulling the weight are manufacturing, healthcare, and social assistance, along with agriculture. Unemployment rate remains unchanged at 7.1%. A nationwide walkout by Canada Post workers will soon be replaced by rotating strikes. The union representing striking postal workers made the announcement yesterday saying rotating strikes will start tomorrow. The national president of the Canadian Postal Workers Union, Jan Simpson, says the move will allow Canadians to get their mail while they continue to work toward collective agreements. This comes as the jobs minister said the union and Crown Corporation have a responsibility to find a solution. Stacey Hine has more on the impact to local businesses.
Monique Poisson-Fast runs Stardust Artwork, a small home-based business selling stickers, prints, charms, and earrings. Many of their items are light and flat, allowing them to be shipped through Canada Post letter mail at a low cost. But now, 2 weeks into the strike, orders are piling up.
It just doesn't make sense for me to ship with a private courier when the products I'm shipping are $5, $10, and then asking someone to pay $15 or $20 shipping on top of that.
And it's not just orders. Some of their supplies, like beads and charms, are also stuck in the mail.
A lot of the beads and charms and stuff I'll buy from other small sellers, other small businesses in Canada, and because, once again, those are small, they'll ship them through letter mail. A lot of those have been stuck in transit right now with the strike, unfortunately.
Nonprofits are also feeling the strain. The Saskatoon Community Foundation says about 10% of its donations come through the mail. While the strike presents an obstacle, the organization says they've learned to adapt through the pandemic and last year's postal strike.
We've gotten more sophisticated with what kind of donations we can take. As well, donors are becoming more comfortable making those online donations.
Another challenge, mailing tax receipts to donors.
They're doing their planning for the season, and they want to see that receipt so they know how much they have to give or how much more they have to give. So we've been making alternate arrangements by emailing those receipts or things like that.
Despite the ongoing disruptions, Poisson-Fast says they support postal workers' right to strike while hoping for a resolution that works for everyone.
I do hope that they can work things out with Canada Post, that everyone's needs can be met including the needs of small businesses.
Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Regina police have opened up a death investigation. It happened on the 1500 block of Cameron Street at about 6 o'clock last night. Officers found a man dead in the area. Major crimes and forensics were called in. The investigation is in its early stages. Few details are being released, including the victim's name. But if you did see something in the area last night, call police or Crime Stoppers. 5 years after she was reported missing, we're now learning more about how Megan Gallagher was killed. Jeremy Dodge is following this story from our Saskatoon studio. Jeremy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Daryl. A warning before we get into these details. Some viewers may find this disturbing. Robert Thomas took the stand on day 4 of Roderick Sutherland's manslaughter trial. Thomas was in the garage with Sutherland where 30-year-old Megan Gallagher was killed. Court heard Gallagher died on September 20th, 2020 while restrained to a chair. Thomas told court that about a month before he was held hostage and stabbed, and he testified he feared it would happen again and suspected Gallagher was in the garage to set him up. Thomas testified there were a group of people in the garage, including Summer Sky Henry. He told court he asked Henry to wrap Gallagher's body in plastic wrap, but she wrapped her face, and he said when he approached Gallagher, she was dead. A Saskatoon priest convicted of sexual assault has learned his fate. 72-year-old Yanko Kolishnai was sentenced to 8 months in jail at Saskatoon Provincial Court. The judge said the high level of trust as a spiritual figure and the vulnerability of the victim went into her decision after Kolishnai kissed the girl on the lips in a supply room at the Ukrainian Catholic Cathedral of St. George back in 2023. The girl was a recently landed refugee from Ukraine who would clean the church weekly with her mother when the assault happened. Kolishnai will also serve 18 months probation following his jail time, and he will not return to work or get any more financial support from the church, including his pension. All right, Daryl, back to you, and it is game day in Ryderville.
Are you on the fan bus? Are you coming to town?
I'm not this
today?
weekend. I've got one of the playoff games, depending on which one it is, I'll be there for that.
All right, bring those pre-signed 8x10s. I know people want those. Jeremy, thank you. For the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the game of musical chairs in the defensive backfield does continue this week. They are out without Roland Milligan Jr. The good news is that he might not be out long term. He was replaced by Sheldrick Redwine, who went to the University of Miami before bouncing around the NFL.
Rowe is a hell of a player, as you've seen. You know, just the approach that he takes to the game. He's always the first person in film, you know, staying late, you know, so just having that and just be able to, you know, have to slide in and be able to, you know, not necessarily replace, but, you know, just make sure that there's no drop off, you know, just show that I'm capable, I trust my skills.
To his right, throws to his the rest of the starting defensive backfield will look the same this week as it did against Ottawa, with C.J. Rivas taking most of the consecutive starts at safety. C.J. Rivas was after your job. My goodness, he did a wonderful job the other day.
I know. So I was going to say not to choose favorites, but C.J. Rivas did really good at the weather.
If you haven't seen it, head to our website and check that out. Kaylee, what's going on this weekend?
Well, this weekend we are going to be seeing some mixed precipitation. It's not really what anybody wants to hear, but hey, we are well into October now, so this is about the time of year. Typically, we're seeing about 12-degree temperatures this time of year, but today we're seeing a lot of those 20-degree temperatures for Saskatoon and Regina included. Right now, though, still in the negatives to start the day, -1. The sun is now up. We're seeing that clear skies. Southeast winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour, 9 kilometer per hour winds in Saskatoon. Also seeing some clear conditions, and now sitting at 0 degrees in Saskatoon. Let's take a look at that futurecast, though, because we're talking about that mixed precipitation moving in. Nothing on the screen for today other than just a little bit of that cloud cover. We're seeing some more cloud cover moving in starting for Saturday morning. Then we see some precipitation moving into the north end of the province. That's coming with some snow and rain. And then it's really during those overnight Saturday hours into the early morning hours on Sunday that we start to see some more of that mixed precipitation for areas down towards the central and southern zones. You can see some of that rain, that's the green on your screen, down towards the southeast, and then along that west there, We see some of that snow moving in. We're going to be seeing it right around Regina there around Sunday morning as well. And then over top of the Parkland region into the afternoon hours as well. Now, current temperatures showing that we have many places still into those negative temperatures. So -4 at Prince Albert, -1 for Spiritwood, 1 degree for Melfort, 1 degree for Hudson Bay, -1 in Moose Jaw this hour. Warmer through the southwest. So we see East End at 5 degrees right now, Assiniboia at 2 degrees, and -1 still in the southeast in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, again, seeing some really nice temperatures. So 23 degrees in Moose Jaw, 21 for Weyburn. Cooler through the Parkland region yet again today, so only expecting that high of 11 degrees there, but still seeing a lot of that sunshine. Prince Albert up to 19 degrees. The next few days are going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, so we're seeing nice temperatures for today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, seeing more of that cloud cover, and then temperatures across the province are going to be dropping quite a bit down on Sunday. So only 3 degrees is that high expected with that mixed precipitation on Sunday afternoon in Regina. In Saskatoon, we're seeing that precipitation come again early on in the morning, and it should be pushing away from Saskatoon into the afternoon, but still seeing that cloud cover lingering. And of course, we're all here for Thanksgiving Monday, so Regina expecting that high of 4 degrees with those sun and clouds, winds not getting too strong, and in Saskatoon seeing that high of 5 degrees with those sun and clouds. We're taking a look at this warm and sunny rural forecast. Watch us up to 20 degrees today. Just a few more clouds over in Wynyard, only reaching about 11 degrees. So cooler through areas near the Parkland region there. Kenora up to 11 degrees. Pilot Butte up to 20 degrees though. Rockland up to 22 and Coronach up to 22 degrees as well. Now let's take a look at Southie, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel, reaching that 19-degree temperature today. Sunny all throughout the afternoon, and northwest winds coming in between 20 to 30 kilometers per hour.
All right, let's head back out on the go and track down Mike Siona, who's learning about some programs for World Mental Health Day. Mike?
Yeah, thanks very much. And it's interesting that you mentioned World Mental Health Day, because this year's theme, as we talked about a little bit earlier, deals with the crisis of a natural disaster. But here at CMHA in Saskatoon, you guys aren't necessarily crisis intensive, right? It's more about year-round, all the time mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. So we really want to provide people with wraparound supports all year, no matter what kind of they're going through with their mental health and that sort of thing. So we provide a wide variety of programs throughout the year that people can access and that sort of thing. As we're coming into the fall and winter here with Thanksgiving, and then obviously gets us thinking about the holiday season. So we're just getting rolling with our holiday hamper program.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I should introduce everybody here. This is Tony Clausen, the executive director, and Jenna Neufeld, who runs the communications, among a host of other activities here. And we're going to talk about those holiday hampers because the holidays can be a time of a little extra stress and anxiety for people. Tell us about this program.
Yeah, the holiday hampers, we originally started it back in 2020. As everyone can remember, that was a pretty isolating experience. And while we all remember that, the holidays can be extremely isolating for a lot of people every single year. So we started that back with 75 hampers that are filled with 12 wellness activities that folks can participate in throughout the holidays, especially when a lot of services might be closed. And so we grew that to 75 the next year, and then this year we're actually looking at filling 150 hampers. It's a beautiful program. Folks can nominate themselves, or they can also nominate loved ones.
Fantastic. And how do we get involved in all of this?
You bet. So you can visit our website, and on there you can sponsor a holiday hamper for just $75, and all the hampers are free to the people that are receiving them throughout the holiday season.
Very cool. Well, there you go. We all know COVID wasn't fun, but out of that came something great that continues to help as we talk all things World Mental Health Day this morning.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. We'll see you again in just a little while.
Prime Minister Mark Carney pushing back against President Trump's protectionism in the auto industry. He told a group of business executives that North America's interwoven supply chain makes U.S. manufacturers more competitive on costs. Ontario's auto industry has been one of the hardest hit by tariffs imposed by Trump. The coalition that has ruled Japan for much of the millennium collapsed following a breakdown in negotiations over a political donation scandal. The Junior Party, Komeito, says the situation with the Liberal Democratic Party is far from recovery. The split comes 2 years after the LDP was accused of hiding about $6 million in slush funds. The yen is trading down, and while markets were already closed, the reaction is expected on Monday. Iconic blue jeans brand Levi Strauss down in Friday's pre-market with warnings tariffs are starting to bite. CFO Harmeet Singh says they have started to feel the impact of tariffs, not just in China, but elsewhere. The company did report that their profitability, as measured by gross margin, improved in the third quarter. However, it's trading down today. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Guitar down one last time.
I appreciate it. Y'all gonna make me tear up here, but I just felt like I had to end it all where it all started, and that's in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City.
Trending all over the internet, the country music icon has announced he'll play his final show at Nashville's Nissan Stadium alongside an all-star lineup of musical friends before officially retiring from touring. It's called One Last Call, One More for the Road. The finale will happen June 27th of next year. Special guests include, oh, you name it, Luke Bryan, Eric Church, Luke Combs, Miranda Lambert, Keith Urban, Carrie Underwood, yada, 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 yada.
Oh, so all the country legends.
What a storied career.
Yeah, absolutely.
And tickets to that one. Question of the day, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving weekend? What's on the big board?
Well, it's what you'd expect, but it's the same answer that we gave too, right? It's family and friends. I'm very grateful for the family. This answer coming in on X and friends, and hopefully clinching first place in the West Division. We can hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping for that Rider win tonight.
Big weekend.
We had Dell right in saying thankful for family, friends, and living in Canada, and that's another one that I agree with. I think about our country now, and I'm just very grateful to be Canadian. From Rebecca, we have I'm thankful for a roof over my head, clothes on my back, and food in my stomach, and a family that they are the same as very well blessed. Howard saying I am thankful for my family. So a lot of people saying family and friends. Absolutely very grateful this Thanksgiving weekend. If you have anything that you're thankful for, make sure you send us a text. You can also send us an email. You can also scan that QR code on the screen right now. If you text us, though, the number is 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Let us know what you're thankful for this Thanksgiving weekend.
All right, it is time for your morning mystery on this Friday. Today, it is a song. Let's get to clue number one. It was the number one song this week in 1980 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. It is Queen's best-selling single of all time.
Oh.
So that narrows it down for us a little bit. Its bass line is used for CPR training because it's near 110 beats per minute tempo. Markers up, whiteboards up, write your answer. This is a long one.
I'm between two.
Don't cheat, Jeremy.
I'm between two.
Kayleen doesn't know.
No, I think I know, but...
He started singing it. Just trying to... I think you gave JD some money to help.
I didn't think this was Queen's number one. I thought it was another one.
Okay, you got... Yeah, looks like we all got the same answer, and the answer is... Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
I thought his number one would have been Bohemian Rhapsody.
It was, the effects were generated by harmonizers, reversed tape, E-drums, and console stuff. No synths in this, so they created the drum beat all on their own. Oh. That is your Friday morning mystery.
Incredible.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's take a look at your school day forecast brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, still in those negatives for the time being. -1 is where we're at. 0 degrees for Saskatoon by lunchtime. Both cities will be sitting at 15 degrees. Winds just a little bit stronger at that lunchtime hour in Regina. By final bell, though, we'll be seeing those same winds in Regina and Saskatoon and sitting at the same temperature. That nice, beautiful daytime high of 20 degrees with that sunshine into the afternoon. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The most common cost to fill up is $130.9. You can find regular fuel, though, for as low as $121.9. And in Saskatoon, common cost to fill up is $128.9. The lowest you might find, $121.9. Now taking a look at those farm markets, the street price of canola at $555.32 per ton and futures price at $618 per ton. As we take a look at those street price of amber durum wheat, $282.27. And red spring wheat at $241.09. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading down at 71.43 cents US.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for this one, we're taking a trip to L.A. It is the Phillies and Dodgers. Game 4. We're going bottom 11, tied at 1. Bases loaded when Andy Pajas sends one right to the pitcher. And that is bobbled by Ryan Kirkering. Throws it home off target. So the Dodgers walk off their way to the NLCS on a blunder. The catcher, JT Realmuto, he's telling Kirkering, go to first. Likely would have gotten the out. Instead, he goes home. And that's all she wrote for the Phillies. My goodness, what a way to end your season. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got some CFL action for you. It is the Argos taking on the Riders. Coverage of that game begins at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a fantastic weekend.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. Time to get to your headlines for 7:30. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations says it has received a list of items from its forensic audit. The FSIN says it will now begin a thorough internal review, saying it maintains its full confidence that all expenditures were made appropriately, transparently, and in accordance with financial policies. More than $34 million of FSIN spending was flagged in an audit from Indigenous Services Canada last month. The FSIN says it continues to await the final report, but Indigenous Services says it does not report copies to funding recipients. One person was taken to hospital after falling off a roof at a home in Saskatoon's Westmount neighborhood. Paramedics in the fire department called just before 6 o'clock Wednesday. SFD says a resident slipped off the roof, requiring medical treatment. It appears that shingle work was being done on the home. The federal government has announced a new industrial strategy that addresses tariffs with a goal of saving jobs and creating new ones.
We will use the power of procurement to create jobs, because ultimately what I've learned is companies rather have contracts than subsidies from the government.
Strategy is aimed at attracting both investment and talent to Canada. Industry Minister Melanie Joly framed the strategy as a way to solidify Canadian sovereignty at a time of global instability and shifting dynamics around trade, defense, and security. She says Ottawa will leverage a new Buy Canadian policy to source domestic goods like lumber and steel for future home building and defense contracts. And with jobs data also set to come out south of the border, experts in the U.S. are expecting an increase in unemployment as the government shutdown continues. Earlier this week, Trump warned there would be permanent job losses.
If this keeps going on, it'll be substantial, and a lot of those jobs will never come back.
The Senate duly chose.
The U.S. Congress remains deadlocked as it once again failed to end the shutdown, now in its second week. Large parts of Kyiv are dealing with power outages this morning after Russian drone strikes. 9 people were injured from the strikes. Russia has stepped up attacks on Ukraine's energy facilities in recent weeks. The president says more than 450 drones and 30 missiles have targeted energy infrastructure. In South Philippines today, a strong 7.4 magnitude earthquake killing at least 2 people, according to locals. 10 Towns near the epicenter suffered structural damage, and authorities warned of strong aftershocks. The quake had triggered tsunami alerts for parts of the Philippines and Indonesia, but have since been lifted. Agribition's 2025 Miss Rodeo has now been crowned Miss Rodeo Canada. Abby Harty received the honor at the Canadian Finals Rodeo in Edmonton last week. She is the third Saskatchewan woman to earn the crown and the first Miss Rodeo Agribition to have it. The competition tests contestants in categories such as horsemanship, public speaking, and personality.
We don't have a whole lot of pro rodeos in Saskatchewan, and to be able to shine that light on our province has been really special. And then, of course, to celebrate agriculture in Saskatchewan. Agribition is such a pinnacle event for our province, and to be able to wear their name on my sash all year round has been just an unreal feeling. Now, because
Hardy will now be passing her Miss Rodeo Agribition crown to someone new during the opening ceremony of the Maple Leaf Finals Circuit Rodeo in November. We had her on set at about 6:45 this morning. If you missed that conversation, it is readily available on our website. She is quite a delight. Now to an unusual royal sighting. King Charles and Prince William stepping out together in support of a cause important to both of them. Maggie Rulli reports.
The king and his heir out on a rare joint engagement, attending a reception ahead of this year's UN climate conference, COP30. The palace announcing Prince William will travel to Brazil to attend the summit on behalf of the king.
This side-by-side appearance can serve as a general show of unity, because people have been asking, what did the king think about William's comments about the future of the monarchy? But fundamentally, it was really about the importance of the environment as a cause to the whole royal family.
King Charles, a pioneer in the fight against climate change, and Prince William following in his father's and indeed grandfather's footsteps and his commitment to the environment, setting up the Earthshot Prize in 2020.
We owe it to the generations that will follow us to work together, both for their future and for the future of our planet.
William and Catherine both stepping up this week.
Rianne, how are you?
With William marking World Mental Health Day, showing a more vulnerable and emotional side. Okay.
I'm sorry, it's hard to ask you a question.
And the princess out and about, promoting her work on early years development. And we've certainly been seeing a lot more of the Prince and Princess of Wales. They spent much of this past year in private as they handled Kate's cancer diagnosis. But now it seems like Prince William in particular has started to open up much more and is really making the role of the Prince of Wales his own. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, London.
The Tigers and Mariners square off tonight in a winner-take-all game tonight, determining who will take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Oh, we turn our attention to this week's crop report first here with Davian Smith.
It's the final push for crop producers in Saskatchewan, with the end of harvest in sight. After a later than usual start in late August, the province is reporting 93% of the provincial crop is in the bin, still lagging slightly behind the 5-year average, even as dry conditions let farmers play catch up.
That's when it really kicked off. Like it started later than most years, I guess. So harvest was behind for a lot of the harvest period, but then there were just not a lot of rainfall, dry conditions, which allowed producers to get lots of combining done.
The vast majority of cereal crops like wheat and barley are done, while more progress still needs to be made on chickpeas, soybeans, and flaxseed.
Flax is a little bit of a longer growing season, but it's also very hardy. It's not really affected too much by adverse weather later in the fall. So hoping if things go good today that we'll wrap up our flax harvest, which will be the end of our harvest completely.
Overall crop health is considered good, but the Ministry of Agriculture also says yields and crop quality largely depend on the region and how much rain fell over the course of the growing season. Those factors will each play a role in how the crops are graded at the elevators.
When they hauled it to the elevator grades it and puts it into one of these 4 categories, and basically that determines the price that the producer will get for that grain.
I believe the majority of the grain and the majority of the wheat coming off in this area is falling into that number 1 grade.
Regionally, West Central Saskatchewan is closest to the end of harvest at 96%, with most other regions close behind. As producers wrap up harvest, fall field work is getting underway, including spraying for weeds, harrowing, fertilizing, and more. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Breaking ball lifted to right. Riley Green has finally come alive. Tigers lead.
Okay, so now let's talk baseball. Detroit has the momentum after scoring 9 runs in that 9-3 victory over the Mariners on Wednesday. The winner will take on the Jays. That series starts on Sunday. And in the National League, the Cubs forced a decisive Game 5 against the Brewers Thursday, beating them 6-0. That game goes Saturday with the winner advancing to the NLCS to face the LA Dodgers, who took out the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Everybody wants to know what they are wearing to the stadium tonight if they're going to the Riders' Lights Out game.
Well, it's going to be very nice in terms of the temperatures. Today's high is 20 degrees. However, I might discourage you from wearing that cap that might be blowing off your head. Wind's not going to be super strong during the afternoon, but they are going to be increasing in the evening hours starting right around kickoff. So keep that in mind as you're getting dressed for the game. -1 to wake us up in Regina. Some southeast winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour, 9 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon for those winds. Clear conditions for both cities to wake us up, and Saskatoon sitting at 0 degrees. We just mentioned those wind gusts. However, here's where we're going to be seeing them the strongest today, right along that southern part of the province, right in the central part there. Could be seeing them up to about 40 kilometers per hour there. Regina in the afternoon, seeing them up to about 35, 38 kilometers per hour. And then into the evening hours, that's when we're going to start to see them increase up to about 50 kilometers per hour. The futurecast, though, not showing a lot for today. This is really going to be continuing on for into the overnight hours, seeing things clear, and then tomorrow morning is when we're going to start seeing some of that cloud cover making its way in from Alberta. We also see some of that precipitation coming in tomorrow as well. This is Saturday at about 5 p.m. on your screen, so at that point we're mainly seeing the precipitation way up north with that rain, and that purple spot there is snow. And then as we make our way into the overnight hours, we see some more of that snow coming in from Alberta. Now, going to be impacting areas down in the southwest at about 2:45 a.m. on Sunday. And then we're going to be seeing some more rain down in the southeast areas on Sunday later on in the morning. This is at about 8 a.m. And then that snow passing right over top of Regina and right over top of Yorkton there, over top of the Parkland region. Now, current temperatures, we're still seeing many places into those negative temperatures for the time being. So Prince Albert at -4, Spiritwood at -1. Some places just cracked into those positives, so Melfort up to 1 degree, Hudson Bay up to 1 degree. Down towards the south, more of the same, so -1 for Weyburn, -1 for Estevan, -1 for Moose Jaw, but 4 degrees over in Swift Current. The 7-day forecast in Regina showing today and tomorrow with really nice temperatures, and then they drop down on Sunday. Thanksgiving Monday looking like we're going to be seeing a low temperature, but a nice mix of sun and cloud. We're not expecting any more of that precipitation to be falling on Thanksgiving Monday. And in Saskatoon, we're going to be seeing that mixed precipitation early in the morning on Sunday. The afternoon mainly just going to be cloudy, and then Thanksgiving Monday up to 5 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud.
Consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Of history, treasures from Canada's past. The upcoming Regina Coin Club Fall Show is one to mark on your calendar. It's coming up on the 18th and 19th at the Italian Club. Everything. They've got coins, they've got stamps, they've got medals. Truly rare displays. And George Mans is in studio with us this morning. George, thanks for doing this. Let's start with the bill that's on the table in front of us.
Okay. It's the last $4 note issued by the Dominion of Canada. And it's about 125 years old. It's the highest graded. It depicts the Lady Minto on the left-hand side and the Governor General Minto on the right-hand side of the note. And Minto Street in Regina is named after him.
How long ago would they have stopped publishing a $4 bill?
The last ones, they started making $5 bills in 1912.
Okay.
So they would have been made up until then.
Tell us about the Coin Club, what you guys are all about.
Well, we've got a big show coming up on the 18th and 19th of October at the Italian Club, and we've got dealers coming from across Canada, about 50 tables worth of coins, medals, tokens, stamps, coin books, etc. There's a lot to see and a lot to do there.
We've been doing this interview for about 10 years now locally, so I know that you have a vast wealth of knowledge and you've brought in some really cool stuff over time. Does anything at any of these shows surprise you anymore?
Yes, sometimes somebody will come in with what you think is a whole bunch of stuff that isn't very valuable, and all of a sudden, holy cow, look at this, I haven't seen one of these for months, you know, so it does happen.
How excited are people when they get to come in and see something like the I've never seen a $4 bill before, but I do remember the 2 and the 1, which I'm sure some of my staffers do not, you know.
Yeah, 99.9% of Canadians have never seen a $4 note in their life, so this is, you know, a chance for you to see something.
And what else can we see when we go? What can we expect when we walk in?
We've got a kids table, so kids get free coins and that kind of thing. We have a breakfast on the Sunday morning for our members and guests. There's just a lot to see because there's so many dealers from across Canada that you get to see that you don't normally get to see.
Yeah, how special is it when you guys get together and tell some stories and show some of your wares off?
It's fun. It really is.
Yeah, how inspiring is it to get young kids out and show them some of these things? Because, I mean, we're going to get to a point probably where it's going to be just digital currency, right? So my 4-year-old's probably never going to see a paper bill beyond a certain point.
Right.
So how important is it to share that?
I think it's important. I started collecting when I was 10 years old, and I've been learning new things
became a lifelong
for
passion.
Over 60 years.
Became a lifelong passion. You can see it at the Italian Club, the 18th and 19th. And here's what's happening in our community. The Club 66 Social Dance. It's a 50s and 60s theme this time. Happens Friday, October 10th at 7:30 p.m. over at the Regina Senior Citizen Center, 2134 Winnipeg Street. Call 306-529-6381. TNC Singles Club Social Dance happens Saturday, October 11th, 7:30 p.m. at Church of Our Lady, 566 Vaughan Street in Moose Jaw. For more information, call 306-630-1492. If you'd like your event featured here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, but please do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
Hey, it's Brandon Hall for the Pure Country Top 5. Getting into the Thanksgiving long weekend, we got an abundance of delicious music for the ears. Number 5, Canadian gal Madeline Merlot squeezing in with Middle of the Bed. Up 1 spot from last week, Keith Urban's Straight Line at number 4. Jordan Davis nicely in the middle with a great song called Bar None, number 3. And at number 2, it's a wonderful duet, one of our biggest songs of the year, still holding steady, Luke Combs, Bailey Zimmerman with Backup Plan. And like pumpkin pie, always number 1 on our list, for me anyways, for Thanksgiving, the goodness of Scotty McCurry, Hootie and the Blowfish remain on top of the heap at number 1 with Bottle Rocket. And that is your Pure Country Top 5 going into the Thanksgiving long weekend. Have yourself a good one. You can find all of this and more at purecountry927.ca.
Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is savings. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter that code word along with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway.
All right, well, Paige Finks back with Gravelberg Bonamy Organization is joining us once again. Paige, thank you for being back. Let's talk a little bit about those fundraising efforts, because in a smaller community, I'm sure that was quite the process.
Absolutely, and we have such a great community who has gone above and beyond helping us and getting us to where we are today. I want to thank Trail Tech, Nelson GM, South Country Equipment, the Pichet Memorial Fund, Gravelberg Dirt to Dreams, and Telemiracle for all being our major sponsors along the way.
Amazing. And some of those individuals who are utilizing this organization, what are their thoughts? Are they excited to see some new items coming in?
Oh, yeah, we are so excited. Today, we're revealing our van, and it will be at 1:30. We will do our van reveal, and none of us have seen it yet. So all of the participants are very excited to see their brand new van.
Amazing. And what has the community impact been like? How have they responded to this? And are you expecting to see a good turnout today?
Yes, absolutely. We're expecting a good turnout. We've invited lots of people, including members from our town office. We've invited Dave Merritt, MLA. We've invited lots of people, lots of representatives from the sponsors that helped us out along the way.
Great. So fantastic to see such a good community coming together like that. Now, Paige, before we wrap things up this time, what website can people go to? How can they learn more about the organization?
People can learn more by visiting our Facebook page, where we put regular updates and pictures of what the clients have been up to. And they can also visit us at www.gravelbergbonamy.com.
Fantastic, Paige. Thank you so much. You and I are going to be back again one more time very shortly coming up here. We've got a few more details to go over.
It's October 10th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Evan. He's celebrating his 40th birthday. Have a great day. This shout out coming from Mac and Gary. And looking forward to the weekend. Happy 50th birthday going out to Lyle Spencer. All of your friends and family are sending you a whole lot of love. Enjoy your day. Also celebrating tomorrow is Ronan, turning 11 years old on the 11th day of the month. Have a fantastic day. Love from your grandpa Gerard and your Grammy Janet. Tomorrow will be Lawrence's 90th birthday. Happy birthday to you. This was sent in with a whole lot of love from your wife of 62 years and all of your children, grandchildren, and friends. Happy anniversary to Alan and Darlene, celebrating 45 years of marriage tomorrow. Congratulations and lots of love from your family, friends, children, and grandchildren. And John and Eva have a whole lot to celebrate on Sunday. October 12th will not only be John's 92nd birthday, but the couple will also be celebrating 70 years of marriage. Congratulations, you two. Happy birthday to John and have a great weekend. Also on Sunday, we'll be wishing a big happy birthday to Hudson, turning 8 years old. Have a great day from Mom, Dad, and Hunter. And on Thanksgiving Monday, Shirley will be celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, have a great day, and have a great year ahead from all of your dashing sisters. October 13th is also the birthday of this Rider fan. Happy birthday to Andrew. Have a great day with lots of love from all of your girls and Nolan. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now, but make sure you send those in one day in advance.
Morning, it's Brandon. Last day here, and now I'm back in Regina. And then hopefully when I get down, get from the plane, off the plane, you get back on the plane, and you get back here to Sandals South Coast. We're giving away code words all day long, and next week and the week after and the week after, every single day, trip or two to Sandals South Coast. Plus, we're giving away our last pair of Thunder tickets to the big game at Libel on Sunday. Useless question of the day goes like this. We used to use this all the time, now only a third of us do in the year 2025. We used to do this all the time, now only a third of us do it. What do you think? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get in to win. Hopefully you can come here to Jamaica.
All right, sidebar time. There's a trend going around where you try and see if you have any hidden talents so that you don't have to go to work the next day. Turns out we do not.
Guess it's true. I'm good at a one-night stand. But I still need love because I'm just a man.
These nights never seem to go to plan.
I don't want you to leave. Will you hold my hand?
Jeremy, you get to grade them as if you were Simon Cowell. Janelle on the far right, who is now dancing like my 80-year-old grandmother. Corey with a cape. Nathan is next to, and then of course Kayleen. So who is best and who is worst?
No,
just say it.
Kayleen, probably the best.
Yep. No, I thought the same.
Except Except that the laughing kind of ruined it. If you could have kept a straight face, you probably, I don't know. I'm not going to give any of them real high scores. Let's just say that.
And the fact that everyone got so into it, just truly a delight. This happened after you left yesterday.
Janelle is 25. Why is she?
We said we were going to step touch together, and then everybody picked a different note, and we all were swaying off beat, and things went awry.
Things happened, and that's why I got a text that said, "Oh, it turns out we're coming to work tomorrow." Thank goodness you are here. We'll see you in a minute. It's Friday, October 10th. Canada Post is set to resume mail delivery as its workers move to rotating strikes. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations says it has received a list of items from its forensic audit. And Regina police and major crimes investigating a death on Cameron Street last night. We'll tell you what we know so far. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Friday. And not just a Friday, but a Friday before a long weekend.
And hopefully it is a payday for you. What are you doing for the long weekend? Are you cooking the Big Bird?
My mom's coming in town today.
Mickey's in town?
Mickey's in town.
No, Mickey's not here.
Mickey is coming into town right after the show. So I'm going home early, by the way.
Director Corey, big fan of Mickey. She is so fine. Let's get to your news update for this part of the hour. Statistics Canada has released the employment numbers for the month of September, increasing unexpectedly for the first time since June. The agency says employment increased by 60,000 or 0.3%, bringing the unemployment rate up by 0.1 percentage point. The industries pulling the weight are manufacturing, healthcare, and social assistance, along with agriculture. Unemployment rate remains unchanged at 7.1% across Canada. The Israeli military says the ceasefire with Hamas is now in effect, and its troops are withdrawing to the agreed-upon deployment lines. The announcement coming hours after Israel's cabinet approved the first phase of the U.S. president's plan to end the two-year war.
2 years to achieve our war aims. And the central one of these war aims is to return the hostages, all of the hostages, the living and the dead.
Palestinians reported heavy shelling in parts of Gaza this morning before the ceasefire kicked in at noon local time. Under the terms of the new deal, Israel has 24 hours to fully pull back troops. Once that's done, Hamas has 72 hours to release hostages. In exchange, Israel will release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. The U.S. president will head there on Sunday. The federal government has announced a new industrial strategy that addresses tariffs with the goal of creating jobs and saving them.
We will use the power of procurement to create jobs, because ultimately what I've learned is companies rather have contracts than subsidies from the government.
The strategy aimed at attracting both investment to Canada and talent. Industry Minister Melanie Joly, who you heard from off the top, framed the strategy as a way to solidify Canadian sovereignty at a time of global instability and shifting dynamics around trade, defense, and security. She says Ottawa will leverage the new Buy Canadian policy to source domestic goods, from lumber to steel, for home building and defense. A nationwide walkout by Canada Post workers will soon be replaced by rotating strikes. The union representing striking postal workers made the announcement yesterday, saying rotating strikes will start tomorrow. The national president of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers says the move will allow Canadians to get their mail while they continue to work on an agreement. This comes after the jobs minister said the union and Crown Corp have a responsibility to find a solution. Regina police have opened a death investigation. It happened on the 1500 block of Cameron Street about 6 o'clock last night. Officers found a man dead in the area. Major crimes and forensics were called in. The investigation is in its very early stages, according to police, so few details are being released, including the victim's name. If you saw anything in the area that night, call police or Crime Stoppers. 5 years after she was reported missing, we're learning more about how Megan Gallagher was killed. Jeremy Dodge following that story for us. Jeremy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Daryl. A warning before we get into these details. Some viewers could find these details disturbing. Here now is CTV's Laura Woodward.
Roderick Sutherland enters Saskatoon's Court of King's Bench on day 4 of his manslaughter trial as Robert Thomas takes the stand. Thomas was in the garage with Sutherland, the same garage where 30-year-old Megan Gallagher was killed. Court heard Gallagher died on September 20th, 2020, while restrained to a chair. Thomas told court that about a month before, he was held hostage and stabbed multiple times. He testified he feared it would happen again and suspected Gallagher was in the garage to set him up. Thomas testified there was a group of people in the garage, including Summer Sky Henry. He testified that he asked Henry to wrap Gallagher's body in plastic wrap, but she didn't wrap her body. She ended up wrapping her whole face, Thomas testified. He said when he approached Gallagher, she was dead. Quiet sobbing could be heard from the gallery as Thomas described Gallagher's final moments. Court heard her body was moved from the garage into a truck and later thrown into the South Saskatchewan River. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A Saskatoon priest convicted of sexual assault has learned his fate. 72-year-old Yanko Kolesnai was sentenced to 8 months in jail. The judge said the high level of trust as a spiritual figure and the vulnerability of the victim went into her decision after Kolesnai kissed the girl on her lips in a supply room at the Ukrainian Catholic Cathedral of St. George in 2023. The girl was a recently landed refugee from Ukraine who would clean the church weekly with her mother when the assault happened. Kolesnai will also serve 18 months probation following his jail time, and he will not return to work or get any more financial support from the church. And that includes his pension. All right. Daryl, a busy week for Regina's downtown.
That's right, Jeremy. Federal funding coming in for the Gordon Block project, and a discussion on downtown art and culture happened, from the Globe Theatre to initiatives like the Creative City Centre and the work of individual artists. Regina's Downtown Business Improvement District hosted the discussion as a topic at the Regina Public Library last night, exploring the role of arts in the vibrant downtown. Other topics included the challenges arts organizations and creators face, how businesses can play a role in supporting the growth, and more.
It will help bring life and people back to the downtown. It's oftentimes the cultural sector that will invest in an area that needs revitalization and really bring it to life and make it a really cool space for people to be in and want to be in.
It's part of a series of speaking sessions called the City Building Speakers Series. Alberta and its teachers union heading back to the bargaining table. Teachers are now being locked out by the province, but the union says it's focused on getting back to negotiations.
Parents should take this as a good sign that we're having conversations. We know what teachers are looking for and what they are asking in terms of trying to fix the situations that we see in school.
The two sides will sit down again on Tuesday to hash out a deal. Alberta Teachers Association's president says their members are eventually forced back to work. It will be under a work-to-rule mandate. Some people in Nova Scotia have been out of their homes for more than a week because of that Lake George wildfire. Well, they're glad to be home this morning.
Fire crews did an amazing job because I did not expect to be back anytime soon.
Evacuation zone isn't open to the public yet. Only people living in the area are being allowed back in. People from 353 properties were ordered out September 29th as the fire burned out of control. It is still not contained, but it has stopped growing. This year's Nobel Peace Prize winner has been announced.
Maria Machado has been a unifying leader of the opposition in Venezuela, and what they did in the election of 2024 was incredible, and it gives hope to an entire country.
Machado currently lives in hiding. Here was her response over the phone with the Norwegian Nobel Institute. We'll play that for you in a little while. Despite signing a new leg to the roster this week, Brett Lowther will start as the Rough Riders take on the Toronto Argonauts tonight. Here to tee it up for us is a very excited, very enthusiastic Jacob Carr.
The musical chairs in the Riders' defensive backfield continues this week, with Roland Milligan set to miss Friday's game. So in steps Sheldrick Redwine, who will be making his first CFL start after being acquired by the Green and White on September 14th.
Ro is a hell of a player, as you've seen. You know, just the approach that he takes to the game. He's always the first person in film, you know, staying late, you know, so just having that and just be able to, you know, have to slide in and be able to, you know, not necessarily replace, but, you know, just make sure that there's no drop-off.
Saskatchewan has dealt with injuries in the secondary all season, and with another new member set to start for the unit, their head coach says being on the same page is huge.
Anybody that's been thrust into position, they put in the extra time for themselves, whether it's with their teammates or their coaches. And in this situation with the DBs, that's exactly what's been going on. So communication is key. Over-communicate.
CJ Reeves will make his second consecutive start at safety after moving from his normal strong side linebacker spot against Ottawa. And with Redwine making his first start with the club, Reeves says playing at safety means being the signal caller of the defense.
I think that's my job, to be back there and be the quarterback of the defense, make sure we all lined up in our jobs, and whatever he doesn't know or forgets, I can give him his brain too as well. But he's already a good player, so he'll be fine.
The Riders are set to wear their Obsidian alternates on Friday for the final time this season, and there will be much at stake for the team in the game.
I love the game. I think it's going to be lights out. We're going to be in the alternate uniforms, so just that atmosphere, it's electric. It's something that you can't really duplicate too many times.
It's a win and clinch situation for Saskatchewan. A victory over the Argos would secure a West final berth at home for the first time since 2019. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
So now everybody needs to know what you got to wear to the stadium tonight.
Well, it's going to be very warm and clear conditions. However, I wouldn't recommend that cap on your head because winds are going to be increasing even from the afternoon. In the evening hours, we're going to be seeing them gust up to about 50 kilometers per hour. So things are going to be getting just a little bit gusty. This morning view, though, is looking very beautiful. It's brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca, where you can find a drop-off location near you. Now, Regina just bumped up finally into those positive temperatures for the morning. So 1 degree right now, clear conditions, southeast winds coming in at 15 kilometers per hour in Regina and 7 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon, also sitting at that 1 degree mark to start our day. Now, the futurecast, though, although it's looking rather clear for the day today, what we're looking forward to is when we're going to be seeing more of that cloud cover coming in on Saturday, and then seeing that precipitation starting in the north Saturday evening, late evening, and then overnight we're going to be seeing some of that mixed precipitation coming in from Alberta as well throughout the central and southern zones as well. So Saskatoon likely to be seeing some of that mixed precipitation that will include some light flurries overnight. Swift current also going to be seeing that, and then some rain as we look farther into Sunday down in the southeast, and then Regina likely going to be seeing some of that mixed precipitation into the late morning hours, and Yorkton seeing it into the early to mid-afternoon. Current temperatures showing that Buffalo Narrows is at 2 degrees, -2 in Prince Albert, 1 degree for Spiritwood, 3 degrees now in Melfort. So the warm-up is starting. Wynyard now up to 3 degrees, Yorkton up to 2 degrees, and Assiniboia up to 4 degrees. Your forecast for the next 3 days looking quite nice for today and tomorrow, but then we see that dramatic drop-off in temperatures on Sunday. And again, that is the day we're expecting to see some of that rain or light flurries. 3 degrees to peak in the afternoon for that temperature, and then in Saskatoon we're seeing 20 degrees today, 22 degrees tomorrow, and then dropping down to 4 degrees on Sunday. You're not seeing that mixed precipitation icon on Sunday, but again, we could be seeing that early in the morning, and then in the afternoon just seeing that cloud cover. What everyone's looking forward to this weekend, though, is that Thanksgiving Monday. So if you're in Regina, we'll be seeing that high of 4 degrees, sun and clouds in the afternoon, and northwest winds coming in between 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Not seeing any strong winds in Saskatoon for Thanksgiving Monday either, and we're just going to be 1 degree warmer in Saskatoon, so 5 degrees in the afternoon. Sun and clouds also carrying us into that afternoon, so if you are heading outside to take those Thanksgiving photos, grab a light jacket.
On this day in history, in 2013, Alice Munro was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. Her final collection, Dear Life, was published the same year that she won. On October 10th, 1973, Quebec Labour Minister Pierre Laporte was kidnapped by the FLQ outside his home in Saint-Hubert. And on this day in 1886, Yoho National Park and Glacier National Park were established as the second and third national parks in Canada.
In case you missed it, a once secret passageway in Rome's Colosseum has been opened to the public for the first time.
And this place was known as the Passage of Commodus. Commodus became very famous after the film The Gladiator because he liked to fight with the gladiators.
Are you not entertained? Yes. Named for the fearsome Roman emperor featured in that movie Gladiator. The passage allowed emperors to enter into the arena, watch the gladiator fights without having to mix in with the crowds. Officials in Rome say it'll give people a chance to appreciate what it was like to be an emperor, I guess.
Oh, I love it. I was there. It's just such a spectacular venue. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Would love to see that.
Good piece of history. I love that. Question of the day, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving weekend? The answers shouldn't surprise any of us.
Well, we just got so many answers saying friends and family. So thank you so much to everybody who responded with those answers. We have a lot more, though, here. So Julie is saying, I am thankful for those who have made an impact and influence on my life. Without them, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
Deep.
So thank you for that answer, Julius. We had Donna writing in, I'm thankful for the CTV morning team.
Oh,
and of course, thankful for Bannock. Yeah. We also had Michelle on X saying, thankful for my wonderful family, my job, and for being Canadian. I've loved this country since I stepped foot in it in 2006. Very thankful indeed. And then we got another answer on our text line saying, I feel blessed to be able to retire by a healing lake. That'd be a great way to retire. Yeah. Beth's saying there's so much to be thankful for. I am thankful for this great nation, harvest gathered in safely, freedom and safety for my children and grandchildren, beauty all around as the seasons change. Thank you so much for answering the question of the day and those beautiful answers today. We wish you all a very safe and healthy and happy Thanksgiving weekend.
University of Calgary researchers are in need of toenail clippings. Yeah, it's part of a study exploring how radon gas is linked to lung cancer. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer after smoking. When radon decays in the body, it leaves behind lead-210, which is the radioactive byproduct, and it can be detected in hair and finger and toenails. Researchers say because toenails grow slower, they provide a better readout of long-term exposures. The team has already studied 40 samples from Canadians, finding high levels of lead matched people living in homes with higher radon readings.
We now can actually gene sequence the tumor and look at the pattern of mutations there and say, absolutely, that is the tobacco-induced cancer mutation signature. We want to be able to do that for radon. If all of that works, we should have the ability to add in a person's long-term radon exposure to the criteria used right now to assess a person's risk.
New funding from the Canadian Cancer Society will allow the study to expand to 10,000 participants across Canada.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
October is Disability Employment Awareness Month, and we're talking about it with Lisa Maloney, Program Manager and Trainer at SARC. Lisa, let's start with Light It Up. It's a day that we always look forward to. When is it? And for those who don't know, what is it?
Excellent. Well, Light It Up for NDEAM, or National Disability Employment Awareness Month, will take place on October 16th. This is a national program where we want to see buildings, structures, anything you can think of lit up in purple and blue lights. And it's really aimed at building awareness for inclusive workplaces. Across Canada, Saskatchewan came in third of all participating provinces last year, and so we really want people to join us and help us go up and get even higher ranking this year.
Fantastic. And we have to register for this, right?
So they can go to employlink.ca, our DEAM page, and information on how to register is right there.
Very cool. Now, can I do it at my own house? Because I got those color-changing lights. Can I line up as an individual and just boom on the 16th make them purple and blue?
Absolutely. And if only using one color, we ask you to use purple.
Okay, single color purple.
Yeah.
I got the app. If I can,
Absolutely.
So I got to make sure I plug it back in.
And the key is to let us know so we can get you on the national
because if it's not tracked, it's great. We're raising awareness, but we're not counting towards those point totals.
What we really want is people to see those lights and say, what is that about? And
Exactly.
it starts that conversation about the benefits of inclusive hiring.
Now, here in Saskatchewan, how long have we been recognizing DEEM?
So DEEM we've been recognizing for over a decade. I believe we're in our 13th year.
Okay. Of course, it is really a year-round initiative beyond just this month or that one specific day. Tell me about the work that's been done and still needs to be done in terms of inclusivity in the workplace.
Right. So we've had a number of employers who have really recognized the benefits of inclusive hiring. And some of those benefits include increased safety rates, reduced turnover, and ultimately a more harmonious workforce where the employer is making more money. It does pay to be inclusive.
No doubt about it. So that obviously covers off the employer side. Right. What about for the employees? What, kind of an obvious benefit, I would assume.
Well, absolutely. And we truly do believe that there is a job out there for everyone, regardless of ability or disability. And so what we want is to help individuals who experience disability have the supports they need to attach to the labor force. And ultimately, they then are a contributing member to society. We all need an answer to that question when we meet someone of what do you do? And so that really is. And we've seen people who have got a job, then bought a house, right? Got a car. They're living their life that they want to live. And that's really what this is about.
No doubt about it. Well, thank you very much for a couple of minutes. Appreciate it. Of course, you can find out more by checking out employlink.ca.
Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is savings. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter that code word along with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway.
All right, let's head back out one last time on the go with Mike Siona on this World Mental Health Day.
Well, we're shining a light on World Mental Health Day, and we've been down here at CMHA Saskatoon all morning long with Jenna Neufeld and Tony Klassen talking about World Mental Health. Now, as far as here in Canada, CMHA just came out with a new report. Where does Saskatchewan rank after 2024?
Yeah, so, you know, it's a concerning state for the folks and the citizens of Saskatchewan here. So Saskatchewan has the highest rate of mood disorders and anxiety in our country. And I think we see that every day here at CMHA Saskatoon with the need for service. You know, our client list is continually growing. We also rank second in the country for substance use, which is also a concerning number and statistic within our province.
Yeah, no doubt about it. These are obviously categories we don't want to be leading in, but would rather see us trending in the other direction. And then another one, as we talk about the youth, and you do a lot of work with youth, is just we're not seeing the same uptake of the services that are available.
Yeah, unfortunately, also in Saskatchewan, youth are having a hard time being able to access those services in a timely manner. And we do know that the research states that the majority of individuals do experience initial symptoms of mental health diagnoses in youth. So early intervention is obviously the best thing possible for folks.
No doubt about it. So just a little bit of statistics for us. Still a lot of work to be done, obviously, not just here, not just in Canada, but across the world on this World Mental Health Day. You know, and a reminder, just talking about it like we are here this morning helps to take care of some of the stigma, fundraising options, initiatives, just even a helping hand and check in on somebody that you know on this World Mental Health Day. Thank you very much.
There go the lights. It's in glorious Technicolor.
Jennifer Lopez stars in Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
You throw us right in. We know nothing about the story or the characters.
Don't you like to dream? At least a little?
Their situation is no dream, a prison under a military dictatorship, where Diego Luna's revolutionary and Tonatiuh's window dresser form an unlikely bond.
I can't be here. Why don't we go to the movies?
They escape into lavish movie musical numbers featuring Lopez.
Kiss of the Spider-Woman starred the great La Luna.
The minute I read it, it had the singing, the dancing, the acting. I got to play an old-time movie star, Hollywood movie star, Siren.
Her co-stars say they did their best to keep up with the multi-talented superstar.
To get an opportunity that also included some of your heroes like Jennifer, Diego, Bill, I had to show up. It was like getting invited to the Olympics. I had to show up.
She's so good, but also so generous and also rigorous with her work, that she's a great lead, everyone follows.
When you feel you've gone to hell in a handbasket.
We were centering this gender queer individual and ensuring that I needed to ensure that they had as much dignity and humanity as possible.
And the world in which you dwell's no paradise.
This story from Manuel Puig's novel is such a great story that I believe needs to be told over and over until people get it.
Yeah, they're right.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Your Morning Saskatchewan is 8:31, and we begin with people in Moose Jaw experiencing homelessness speaking out against a plan to move their emergency shelter out of the downtown. Wayne Mantika leads us off.
Those living at the Moose Jaw shelter were surprised to hear that the government wants them out of the downtown.
We're not causing no problems for anybody, really. We're just trying to get through the day. And they categorize us or label us as troublemakers for what? I'm not sure.
Moose Jaw's current shelter is located in a back lane between the police station and the courthouse. The Premier wants people to feel safe downtown.
Although the supports need to be there for those, unfortunately, that have entered a life without a home, the supports actually have to be there as well to keep our broader community safe as well, so a family can go to a park or for a walk downtown with their children after supper.
The unhoused feel singled out.
There's one leg now that's been amputated. Okay, if they're gonna move the shelter somewhere else, hey, the scooters, hey, heavy enough, hey, like what am I supposed to do? One leg.
This man has secured housing through Square One, but spent last winter outdoors.
Square One was a blessing. I mean, yeah, all I had to do was fill out all the proper paperwork. And, of course, you have to change your life.
The NDP is puzzled by the government move.
Well, folks, yesterday's news conference in Moose Jaw was one of the most pathetic and embarrassing things I've seen in a while.
Moose Jaw's emergency shelter has 15 beds and is operated by the John Howard Society.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So our preference would be to stay where it is because I think the space lends itself very well to serving our clients.
The John Howard Society will continue discussions with government about a new permanent location. It believes the best place to relocate shelter residents would be into housing. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
As the postal workers' strike continues, small businesses and nonprofits feeling the brunt of the impacts as they head into their busiest season. With the impact, here's Stacey Hine.
Monique Poisson-Fast runs Stardust Artwork, a small home-based business selling stickers, prints, charms, and earrings. Many of their items are light and flat, allowing them to be shipped through Canada Post letter mail at a low cost. But now, 2 weeks into the strike, orders are piling up.
It just doesn't make sense for me to ship with a private courier when the products I'm shipping are $5, $10, and then asking someone to pay $15 or $20 shipping on top of that.
And it's not just orders. Some of their supplies, like beads and charms, are also stuck in the mail.
A lot of the beads and charms and stuff I'll buy from other small sellers, other small businesses in Canada, and because, once again, those are small, they'll ship them through letter mail. A lot of those have been stuck in transit right now with the strike, unfortunately.
Nonprofits are also feeling the strain. The Saskatoon Community Foundation says about 10% of its donations come through the mail. While the strike presents an obstacle, the organization says they've learned to adapt. Through the pandemic and last year's postal strike.
We've gotten more sophisticated with what kind of donations we can take. As well, donors are becoming more comfortable making those online donations.
Another challenge, mailing tax receipts to donors.
They're doing their planning for the season, and they want to see that receipt so they know how much they have to give or how much more they have to give. So we've been making alternate arrangements by emailing those receipts or things like that.
Despite the ongoing disruptions, Post on Fast says they support postal workers' right to strike while hoping for a resolution that works for everyone.
I do hope that they can work things out with Canada Post, that everyone's needs can be met, including the needs of small businesses.
Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Nearly 2-year investigation into a police-involved shooting in Estevan, which led to the death of a 19-year-old man inside Police HQ, has more on the investigation with Mick Favel.
A report from Saskatchewan's Serious Incident Response Team has been released, giving more details into the events that led to the death of a 19-year-old man in police custody over a homicide investigation, an incident that also put an officer in hospital. On November 1st, 2023, shortly before 7 a.m., Estevan police responded to a report of an injured person at a home in the city, leading to the arrest of the 19-year-old. The woman injured in the incident, 46-year-old Carly Galeas, was the mother of the man taken into custody. She died of her injuries a short time later. Once at the police station, the 19-year-old was changing his clothes in an observation room when he lunged at a police officer, later identified as Sergeant Braden Lonsberry, gaining control of the officer's gun. He shouted, "He has my gun," to alert other officers in the building before the suspect shot Lonsberry in the abdomen. A struggle ensued, leading to a second shot being fired into the back wall. As the suspect began to lower his weapon, a second officer drew his weapon, shooting the 19-year-old twice in the torso. The second officer began to handcuff the man when the suspect reportedly stated, "Just finish me," or words to that effect, according to the report. The officer then called for an ambulance. Both were given immediate first aid and rushed to the hospital. The suspect later died. The injured officer made a full recovery. According to the CERT investigation, the suspect was found to have methamphetamine and cocaine in his system. No video footage captured the incident directly, but footage from other cameras was enough for investigators to piece together a timeline. 11 police officers were also interviewed as direct witnesses, along with 2 civilians, including a detainee that was in the detention area at the time of the shooting. According to CERT, all evidence considered showed a situation where the officer who fired the fatal shots had an undeniably reasonable fear of death or grievous bodily harm for himself and the officer who had already been shot.
All the other agencies throughout the province participated and came down and then lent a hand in some form or fashion. And it was a very collaborative effort, but I can tell you that the members and the staff and the employees of the Estevan Police Service were affected greatly by this.
CERT's civilian executive director concluded the report by saying the team found no grounds to believe an offense was committed by the officer who fired the fatal shots, meaning no charges will be laid and the case is now closed. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
A motorcycle rider is in hospital with life-threatening injuries following a collision in Saskatoon's University Heights area. The motorcycle collided with an SUV at the intersection of Attridge Drive and Heel Avenue just before 3 o'clock Wednesday. The 20-year-old motorcyclist was taken to hospital in serious condition, while the driver of the SUV was not injured. Agribition's 2025 Miss Rodeo has been crowned Miss Rodeo Canada. Abby Hardy received the honor at the Canadian Finals Rodeo in Edmonton last week. She's the 3rd Saskatchewan woman to earn the crown, but the first Miss Rodeo Agribition. The competition tests contestants in categories like horsemanship, public speaking, and personality.
We don't have a whole lot of pro rodeos in Saskatchewan, and to be able to shine that light on our province has been really special. And then, of course, to celebrate agriculture in Saskatchewan. You know, Agribition is such a pinnacle event for our province, and to be able to wear their name on my sash all year round has been just an unreal feeling. Now, because
Hardy will be passing her torch to someone new at the opening night of Agribition's Pro Rodeo in November. Let's get over to the Weather Center and join Kayleen Sawatsky with the final look at the forecast for the Thanksgiving exciting weekend.
Well, today and tomorrow going to be absolutely beautiful. We're into those 20-degree temperatures still. Wind's going to be increasing later on this evening, though, right around game time. So hang on to your hats. But as we head into the later part of the weekend, Sunday is when we start to see those temperatures drop. And Thanksgiving Monday is going to be a cool one. I'll show you those temperatures in just a moment. Right now, though, in Regina, waking up to that 1-degree temperature. Some winds coming in at 15 kilometers per hour. 1 degree to wake us up in Saskatoon, but we are seeing some nice, bright, clear skies, and winds are very calm to start the day. The futurecast not showing a whole lot for the day today. We're seeing some precipitation moving in starting on Saturday during those overnight hours. We're going to be seeing them early in the morning in some places up north, and then into the afternoon on Sunday is when we start seeing it in many places down towards the south. This is in the morning, though. This is right around Regina, and then it's going to be into the afternoon right around that southeast corner. So yes, this is going to be coming with some snow. It's not what anybody wants to hear, but it is pretty typical for this time of year. Current temperatures showing that we still do have some places into those minus temperatures right now. So Prince Albert at -2. Other places starting to warm up. So 3 degrees in Melfort, 2 degrees in Hudson Bay right now. 6 degrees in Swift Current, so we are warming up there. Estevan was just at -1. It looks like that temperature has just bumped up to 1 degree, and 3 degrees now for Yorkton. Your next few days in Regina, so 20 degrees is the high today, a beautiful day, keeping in mind that average for this time of year is about 12 degrees, so we're well above that average, at least for today and tomorrow. A few more clouds making their way in for tomorrow with that high of 23 degrees in Regina, and then mixed precipitation on Sunday, as you just saw in our futurecast, but dropping down for temperatures as well, down to about 3 degrees. So it is going to be cool starting on Sunday and into our next work week. 20 degrees on this afternoon for Saskatoon, 22 tomorrow, once again with a few more of those clouds, and then dropping down on Sunday to 4 degrees. You do see that cloud icon on your screen. However, keep in mind that that mixed precipitation is going to be impacting Saskatoon during the very early morning hours. In Regina for Thanksgiving Monday, we'll be at 4 degrees, so that is cool. Again, I just mentioned that average for this time of year is 12 degrees, so grab a jacket if you're heading outside. Saskatoon should be right above that 4-degree temperature, sitting at 5 degrees as the high around 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Sun and clouds all throughout the afternoon, and winds coming in between 10 to 20 kilometers per hour.
Well, we are wrapping things up here with Paige Finks with Gravelberg Bonamy Organization. Now, Paige, let's talk a little bit about where you personally hope to see this organization go in the coming years, especially with all of these new advancements being made.
Yeah, I'm so proud of where this organization has gone in the past years. We've been in operation for over 30 years, so we've been making big milestones along the way, and this is just another one of them. I can't wait to see what our participants would like to do moving forward so that we can help them reach those dreams, because that's truly our mission here.
Amazing. So 30 years, I am sure that everybody on that team has seen things evolve greatly over that time.
Absolutely. And I have to thank our team for all of their hard work and dedication to this, and to the participants. Every day they come here and they make sure the participants get to live their best life, and they're just the biggest cheerleaders along the way, and we couldn't do it without them.
That is so great to hear. Now, let's get a little personal here. You yourself as an individual, what does this mean to you to be a part of something so great?
This is so inspiring, and I'm just truly so honored and proud to be a part of this organization. It's just been the joy of my life to see people thrive and reach their goals and be able to help people each day.
Incredible. All right. And if somebody is maybe looking to be a part of this as well, learn a little bit more information, where can they go?
Yeah, they can come to gravelbergbonamy.com, or they can also check out our Facebook page for all of our updates and what we're doing on a day-to-day.
Awesome, Paige. Well, it was lovely to chat with you this morning. Thank you so much for spending some time with me.
Thank you.
All right, and that wraps things up for us here this morning.
Why you
Well, we are lounging in style down here at Automobility Medical Regina. Sherry, thank you for having us back here.
Well, welcome back. It's nice to see you.
It is great to see you too. Now, today we're talking about some lift chairs.
Yes, we are. We have a very special lift chair, or a few of them in right now, and they are actually a love seat. They're the first of their kind, and they are family built. They're family-owned business. They're amazing. These ones, the lifts work independently of each other. They have heat and massage. They have the head that moves, the lumbar that moves, and they will go into a sleeping position. You can also have your drinks in here. There's drink holders, and in this console, you could put a little cooler or something in there for the rest of the drinks.
Amazing. Well, this is so comfortable. Let's get into a little bit of the details. Let's walk us through this remote here.
Okay, so this remote is amazing. It does everything. So right now we are going to want to put the feet up.
Okay.
So they each have 2 motors as well.
Okay.
So the feet and the back will work independent of each other. So you could be sitting at a 90-degree angle watching the game, or you can, hang on. Or you can lay back.
Ooh. Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
And then you can put your head up so that you are in the perfect TV watching mode.
This is very, very nice. I think that we all should have one of these. Personally, this is great, Sherry.
I think so too. And they have heat and massage, and they have 3 different intensities. So you can get pummeled, or you can have just a light massage. They're very, very, very comfortable.
Ooh, I like these. When did you guys get these in? Is this quite new?
We just got them in. And these 2 are made by Catnapper, and as I said, a family-owned business. And yeah, they're amazing.
All right, Sherry. Well, I think for the rest of the morning, you can find us here. Thank you so much for having us this morning. Once again, that's Automobility Medical Regina. Come on down, check out some of these chairs.
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him. Game of Thrones is getting another spin-off series. The first trailer for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms follows 2 unlikely heroes wandering the kingdom of Westeros 100 years before the events of the original series. It marks the second Game of Thrones spin-off after House of the Dragon. Look for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO in January.
Anything you can dream about, you can create.
A Minecraft movie was one of the biggest box office hits of the year. And now, Warner Brothers has greenlit a sequel. The studio says they're targeting a 2027 release for Minecraft 2. The first movie, based on the popular Minecraft video game, premiered back in April and drew in more than $950 million globally. Elvis fans, listen up. A new concert movie called Epic, Elvis Presley in Concert, featuring never-before-seen footage of the music legend, is now expected to hit theaters next year.
We really hit it off. How you doing?
A live-action version of Tangled is now in the works. Deadline reports the film is still in the early stages of development, but Scarlett Johansson could play a major role. The original animated version of Disney's Tangled came out back in 2010. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And happy birthday to West Wing star Bradley Whitford. In addition to playing Josh Lyman on the award-winning political series, he was also in The Handmaid's Tale and Get Out. Bradley Whitford is 66. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
The Amityville Horror, perhaps the most famous of modern haunted house stories.
But when it comes to haunted house attractions, being scary takes a lot of work and training. Danny New takes us to zombie school.
Well, it's getting to be that time. When people stand in line and pay to be frightened by trained actors in makeup.
They come here to be scared. It's Halloween. It's fun to be ugly and scary and bloody.
But before these thespians at the Erebus Haunted House in Pontiac, Michigan can become ugly, scary, and bloody, first, they must train at what they call scare school.
And that's when we bring them in and we just teach them how to scare safely, how to have fun while you're scaring, and the psychology of a scare.
It appears there are many disciplines to master when it comes to this scare-riculum. You've got to learn your terrifying screams, your desperate cries for help, and your creepy, hey, I'm walking there.
It's basically a job that you get to see a different side of yourself that you didn't think you would see.
But once they graduate, there is a metric to grade their success. And it's not too far from the way they power the city with screams in Monsters, Inc.
How scared do people get? You know what? We don't really count the tally number of how many people are going through. What we do count is the people that don't make it through.
Yes, as you can see here, the haunted house keeps a tally on how many quote-unquote wimps have to exit prematurely. And they even keep a total of their wetters, fainters, and spewers.
Welcome to the scariest talk show around.
And you know what? I've tried to do the whole zombie makeup scaring thing, and they mostly just laughed at me. Clearly, I did not go to scare school.
In fact, the haunted house says last year they officially surpassed 10,000 wimps for the past 25 years they've been open. Well, just wait till I visit. In New York for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I'd be a wimp.
Yeah. Well, they say you have like fight or flight, right? I am neither of those. I am just like crashed to the ground.
Oh, okay.
I am just like.
JD, you?
I'm not fright or flight. I am not even putting myself in that situation to be either.
That's with
Smart man.
Wimp. That's wimp. That's with me. All right, let's get to your sidebars. One of the biggest great white sharks ever spotted in the Atlantic Ocean has been located off the waters of Atlantic Canada. Contender is a 4-meter great white, or 13 feet. The shark weighs more than 700 kilos. It was first tagged in January near Florida last week. The shark made its way to the Gulf of St. Lawrence off Newfoundland and Labrador. Experts say he's likely enjoying some local seafood to store fat before heading back south.
We love you, Contender. Beautiful. Yeah.
4 meters. Wow.
That's a hefty fish.
Yeah.
Big beast.
You know me. I'm a big fan of the whales. I'm a big fan of the sharks. I would love this.
All right. What else you got for us?
All right. Well, your next trip to your mailbox may just make you hungry if you're expecting a letter from France. France's post office, La Poste.
La Poste.
All right. have launched a croissant-scented stamp. The 600,000 limited edition stamps are available during a national competition to find the best butter croissant in the country. The stamp can be used for international mail, and there's also a souvenir print.
Oh, all right then.
Delicious.
JD, very quickly, you got one more.
Okay, Starbucks and Hello Kitty teaming up for a new collaboration. It's going to start on November 6th. Starbucks in Canada and the U.S. will start selling Hello Kitty merch. So we got toys, mugs, tumblers. The company also announcing their new drink lineup for the holiday season, which does launch November 6th. I know people love that Christmas blend.
They sure do. And we hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving long weekend. We are back with you on Tuesday. Here is a look at some of the hardworking individuals that make this show possible.
Guess it's true. I'm not good at a one-night stand. But I still need love, cause I'm just a man.
These nights never seem to go to plan.